Here it is. Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's live. It's done by Barflies, for Barflies, and all the other Bears fans out there. It's it, boys. It's winning in. It's all comes down to this. It's another nail biter. It's gonna be the Packers. Hopefully it's a nail biter. But it's us biting our nails. I don't even have fingernails anymore, man. This whole week has just been kind of crazy. I'm on edge. I'm not sleeping right. All that shit combined, man. And it's just. And then they had to go ahead and move us to the later game. But you know how it goes. It's Bears Packers. It's week 17. It's into the playoffs or going home. Or maybe lose and get a little help, but we'll go over all the scenarios. First, let me kick it around the room and introduce the boys. We got Mr. Ryan Badgley, Badge of Honor. Badge, what's up, man?
Time for talk is over, fellas. All right, we'll see you after the. Oh no, I'm kidding. Yo, this is it. If you're a Bears fan and you're not fucking amped right now, ready to take it to the fucking Packers, all this other bullshit doesn't mean anything. No more talk. No more listening to David Bakhtiari saying they want to beat the piss out of us, just like we want to do to them. Just in case you didn't know that, David, how's the knee, man? I hope you're doing all right. And all serious.
Come on now.
Never want to see a guy go down like that, but feel for the guy. Hey, that just should open things up for Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn today, fellas. Let's be honest here. Yeah. They're getting paid big money. Now's the time for them to put up and help us get this W today and advance us into the playoffs. Who, guys, there's a possibility if we win today, we see the Packers next week as well. So this could be 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I know, man. And I don't wish that on anybody. I mean, it is the Packers, but you don't want them 2 weeks in a row, man. There's still, we'll get into it, but they're the number one scoring offense in the league. I don't want to see them 2 weeks in a row, but either way, we got to get through them today. Next, we got the bearded Bears fan. That beard is looking, you put a little pumpkin spice in that thing this morning, boy. That beard is looking extra hot this morning. Mr. Aaron Curran, AC in the place to be. What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas? Tired, man. I've been racking my brain all damn week about this damn game. My Cats yesterday went 2-0. We finally found a way to win a basketball game. I know y'all don't give a fuck because y'all ain't from here, but it's big to me. I'm not gonna give a weather report because if it's the same, it's the same as it is rain.
Yeah, I choose violence.
But yeah, man, I this game has just been driving me nuts all week, and I'm blessed to have my job where they shut down for Christmas, so I've been off for the last week and a half. But with that being said, all week long I didn't have anything on my mind other than this game, win and you're in. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Bobby, we can lose and get in with other scenarios, but to me, it's win and you're in. I mean, I'm not going to be like some people said, I don't want to back into the playoffs, but I'm like, you get in the dance, bro. I don't care if you lose and get in. It is what it is. I'm just ready. I'm ready for kickoff, and we're several hours away still.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna win the lotto, man, and it's off of a lottery ticket I find blowing down the street, I'm still winning the damn lotto. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then last but not least, we got Mr. Mike Schaefer. Mike, what's up, brother?
What's up, fellas? Oh man, I'm still trying to get over Aldo calling me ugly on the New Year's show. The truth hurts, boys. The truth hurts. In all seriousness, you couldn't ask for a better scenario for Week 17, the last game of the season. It's Green Bay. It's for everything. Adrenaline is at 100 out of 10 right now in this household. You see Green Bay socks on the wall behind me. That's the phrase that pays today. All day long, I'll be yelling it, screaming it from the balcony of my place here in Chicago. On Tuesday this week, I got goosebumps for the first time. And this morning, I checked under my sweater. My goosebumps have goosebumps. So if you are not ready to go and ready to rip the door off the building, there's something wrong with you. You might have to check your Bears fandom a little bit. But wow, could we ask for anything more in a Week 17 final game of the season for everything, with everything on the line? My God, am I ready to go? Let's do this thing.
I know, man. And I know we've said it time and time again, but it's like, this is the game of games where you want that stadium packed, right? You want that Bear Raid siren going. You want that tunnel, that echoing of Green Bay sucks, like blowing through the tunnel. Like this is one of those games, man, where I feel not having fans in the stands is really going to hurt us. And it does change a game. It does change everything up, man. But either way, like everybody said, it's winning in. We have to get there. We have to, and just like what a statement game it would be to come out and just blow the doors off the Packers today. You know what I mean? And just like show people that we belong in the playoffs. Remember all that paper tiger stuff from the first couple of weeks? If you get in on a limp, like, this week, we're right back to that. You know what I mean? We're right back to that. The last 4 weeks of plus 30 points doesn't matter. But if you go in today, you score plus 30 and you just blow the damn doors off the Green Bay Packers, the Bears will be a team that's, maybe more respected than what they currently are to limp into the playoffs.
I witnessed Ryan Clark earlier this season from ESPN say Allen Robinson's not a number one receiver, to this week completely flip his comment over and say, hey, I was wrong about Ryan Clark, or I was wrong about Allen Robinson. This guy is a number one receiver, and he clearly is
wrong.
Yeah, kudos to him for recognizing that. I think you're a couple years behind that, Mr. Clark, but kudos to you for owning up and recognizing it, and also recognizing that if this Bears team does get into the playoffs, they're a team that other teams don't want to see. And I can't agree with him 100% more on both of those points, because you've got a team coming off a 6-game losing streak that's won 3 in a row. And when is the best time to get hot, fellas? Right towards the end of the season, because you can run with that for right up, it could carry you far into the playoffs. There's going to be bumps in the road. Mitch may throw an interception, guys, but guess what? We can still win. It's okay. It's all right. This game is all about execution for this Bears offense, defense, and special teams. They have to execute like they've never done before. It's got to be perfect today.
Yeah, and that's, I won't even call it a bold prediction, but that's what I was going with, is Mitch having a 0 turnover game today. And then, like you mentioned with A-Rob, I know last week we did the one of the autographed ball giveaways. We're going to do it again this week, so stick with us on the show. We got our signed A-Rob football, so we're going to give one of those away again today. But speaking of friend of the shows, we have another friend of the show joining us today. His name is Mr. Terence Young. He's a diehard Bears fan. You guys have seen him. He's been all over. There he is. He's been all over. You always see him on there. He announced a draft pick of Mr. Riley Ridley. And, he's here to bring the Bears fandom. And Terence, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show. Love the show. Watch it every week. And I'm just thrilled to be here today and talk a little bit about the beloved Bears. So, yeah, man, the intro said it the best. There's no words. Badge, you had it right. There's no words. What can you say about today's game? It's everything that we've always had. It's everything we've always said as Bears fans. Lifelong Bears fans. Today is the day. So it's the adage, put up or shut up, and we're certainly going to put up today.
Yeah, props to you too for wearing that jersey today. I think that's the right number to be rocking. With being plastered on the field today. What a way to honor a legend, but love to see you rocking the 40, my man.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Absolutely. Got to represent the Kansas Comet today. Definitely hearts are going to be super heavy. Bears are going to be coming out hitting harder than they even normally would today with Gail on their mind. So, yeah, it's just another testament to this great organization and just more motivation to beat the Packers.
It is, man. And going with this, man, and the motivation to beat the Packers, It's been a rough year, right? I mean, we've had some ups and downs. We've had a lot of uncertainty. We've had, the back and forth with Mitch and Nick. And I think all of us I think the majority of us here were always in Mitch's corner. And then when Nick was brought in, you were like, hey, if that's what the coach thinks is best for the team, then let's go with that. Right. How has this roller coaster of emotions for you this season been so far, man?
Let's see. I've been a Bears fan since I was 9 years old, 2 years before the Super Bowl. Yeah. It's pretty much just the way it goes as a Bears fan. We all know, we ride that roller coaster, but you said it best, Bobby. I mean, really what you're looking at is, you have faith in the coaching staff, you have faith in the organization, you have faith that they're making the right moves. And when they switch quarterbacks, I was always in Mitch's camp. He's a guy that I always wanted to believe in, and I still believe in, and I thought he still is the best option, was the best option, will continue to be the best option. But when we brought in Foles, I looked at it as an opportunity to maybe just get a spark. We rattled off a couple of wins, but then there's that roller coaster. We started coming down, and some of the failures that Foles had that Mitch was able to utilize there being his legs and being able to escape the pocket when things break down. Foles couldn't do it. That proved to be a detriment to the offense at the time. But, hey, that's what teams are about, right? Like, it's not just high and glory, every single game. I mean, even Kansas City has their bumps and bruises here and there too, as, great as they've been playing. But, you still look at any team and you're going to have your ups and downs. And, yeah, we had that lull. But you know what? We're playing the best football right now in all of the National Football League, and that's what's exciting. We're playing best football at the right time.
Yeah, that's spot on. And speaking of roller coasters, this new post-COVID or COVID world we're living in has limited a lot of travel and made things a lot different. You've got some well-documented travel history associated with the Bears, whether it's going to Mexico, going to the functions, home games, away games. How has this new world that we live in affected the way you consume, you watch, you follow the Bears? Any new traditions?
Yeah, well, one thing is, thank God for technology. I don't know what I'd do about 15, 20, years ago if something like this happened, but, we can all come together like this on Barfly, and we can talk, and we can just, talk Bears and do everything that we do. But yeah, you're right. I mean, season ticket holder for 13 years, missing all of the fans in the stadium, especially our little sections. Shout out to section 340 in Soldier Field, missing the crew there. So not being able to participate in tailgating, going to the games. Obviously, the off the field things, the Bears Care Gala, have gone to that for the last 3 years. Last year was canceled. Who knows what will happen this upcoming year in 2021, but the trips, Bears have had lots of great trips as far as with players, as you mentioned, going to Cancun last year, went to Cabo, just a great time to be intimate with players, talk to them, just, leave the on the field stuff on the field, and you could just talk to them and get to know them one-on-one. And I tell you what, the 2 years that we were able to participate in that have been phenomenal. Just a great run program and great interaction with the players as well. So yeah, it's different. It's sorely different, but you like everybody, you make the most of it. You make the adjustments. Obviously you want to stay safe. You want everybody to stay safe and healthy. So I certainly get it. If this is the worst that individually that I have to deal with, then that's a great thing. So, yeah. I'll look forward to the day when we're back in the stadiums, we're back to tailgating all together and coming together as Bears fans. And it'll happen soon. So we just got to get through it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And I'm representing section 250 over here. So when we get back, we'll have to hook up for a beer, hook up.
Absolutely.
For something. In fact, if you live not too far from Soldier Field, you might just hear me this morning around 11, 12 o'clock, because I'm going to be screaming Green Bay sucks in the tunnel. So
yes. Yeah, we're about a mile and a half right off of Michigan Ave. So yeah, not far. So I'm sure I'll hear you and a few other thousands of Bears fans yelling Green Bay sucks. I missed that. I just want to go down to the tunnel. I want to walk to the tunnel and just get there and just yell it and then just walk back home.
Oh, he's not joking, man. Mike's doing it today. Mike's going down there this morning just to do it, just to get the blood going, just to bring the somber and emotion to the party, man.
That's awesome. I love it.
So, Terence, Yeah, I wanted to ask you, man, about the game today. What to you is the key to beating this Green Bay Packers team today?
There's a couple of keys, but I would say the number one key for the Bears is we can't turn the ball over. Can't. We've got to protect the ball. We got to make sure that we're taking time off the clock. So a lot of Montgomery runs. Got to feed him. Let him do his thing. He's been on a tear. I think that's one of the biggest keys right now is O-line is playing really well. Montgomery's running really well. And Mitch, for the most part, is not throwing interceptions, fumbling the ball, and doing those sorts of things that may have plagued him a little bit in the past. So protecting the ball, in my opinion, is the number one factor. And the game is won, as all football fans will tell you, it's won in the trenches, right? Yeah, O-line and D-line. That's the key. Pressure on Rodgers, protecting Mitch.
My thing is I've heard all week, and not that it's wrong, because I definitely think it's something that needs to be done, is pressuring Aaron up the middle through that A-gap. Mm-hmm. My fear with that is Aaron is very good at getting outside the pocket and can run. And you saw it in that first game. Multiple times we tried to go up the gut, and he just took off for 12, 13 yards a clip.
Right.
You know, is this something where you could see the Bears keeping Danny Trevathan in the game and using him as a spy on Aaron Rodgers?
I do. You know, that's actually one of the things I was thinking about too, is whether it's Trevathan, whether it's Rowe, somebody to be a spy, somebody to play that role and just mirror where Rodgers is. I mean, obviously you want to get that pressure, but at the same time, you can't let him, run up the gut for, 9-10 yards. Like, nah, I mean, he's not Deshaun Watson. He's not, it's not old school Cam. I mean, you can't let a guy like that get those kind of yards.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a great idea. I love that idea, actually.
Hey, Terence, AC here. I wanted to jump back a couple of years. I'm a huge fan of the NFL draft.
Okay.
And you were able to go to the draft, and you were able to announce the pick of Riley Ridley from Georgia a couple of years ago, and I've always been super jealous of it. And I just wanted to get your talk. Hear you talk about your experience at the draft, and here you are right there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, AC. I tell you, man, it was surreal, and everyone asks like, well, how did you get the opportunity? And it literally was a phone call. I was driving home from work, and for many that don't know, my wife and I, we live in Atlanta, but we've got a place where I'm at now here in Chicago, where I'm at full time now, with just kind of a change in roles and jobs. But in Atlanta, I was coming home from work, and I get a call, and my card says, Chicago Bears, and I'm like, oh, I better pick this up. And I'm thinking it's, I'm thinking it's like the ticket office, and it, something with tickets, a promotion or something, And the individual who calls, he says, he's like, we've got. I said, we see you're coming to the Bears draft party at Soldier Field. And I'm like, yeah, and we bought like a table there for 10 people. So we had some of our friends come. And he's like, yeah, well, I've got an offer for you, and I really hope you accept it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay. I'm like, what is it? So, he's like, we'd like you to announce the 4th round draft pick of the draft live from Soldier Field. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I'll certainly do that. So he goes,
let me check my schedule.
Let me check my pulse and schedule. I'm like, both are good. The pulse, maybe not so much right now, but yeah, the schedule is great. So he lines it up. He's like, NFL Network's going to be there, blah, 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 blah. So fast forward, we get to the night before, and, I'm sitting there like days before, just kind of getting in my head what I'm going to say, but they don't let you really go off script a whole lot. You can do a little ad-libbing, but they literally keep it pretty tight in terms of what you say. Because you can imagine people get up there talking for 15 minutes. Like, no, like we got a show to run. This is millions of people are watching this. So anyway, we get to Soldier Field. If anybody remembers, it's snowing that day, of course, like maybe a little bit like today, right? And it's April though. Yeah, but of course it's Chicago. So we get to Soldier Field. they sign me in. I sign like a waiver. I get to the table and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to get you in about, 10, 15 minutes to get you prep. I'm like, well, I'm glad I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to prepare for this because I don't really want to think about it. I just want to do it, right? Yeah. So literally 10 minutes later, someone comes, gets me all queued up. I go over to the little area where NFL Network is. They get me the headset, not the headset, but they test the mic. I'm holding the mic. They're going through all the checks. They're giving me all these little reminders like, hey, when we come live, look at the camera. Don't look at the TV because I got the little TV that's going on with NFL Network. And I was like, thank God, because I certainly would have been looking down at the TV and not at the mic. Yeah. And then literally they said, we're gonna give you like a 5-second countdown, and then we're gonna point and you're live. So I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna bring this card out to me because everybody talks about the card, right?
Right.
Yeah. Like they're gonna bring this card out to me, and they're gonna give me, at least 3 to 5 minutes. They gave me 30 seconds. They came out with the card. I looked at it. I started laughing because they scratched out Riley Ridley's name because they actually they put his name backwards. They put Ridley Riley. And then they had to scratch out the Ridley and put Riley and then Ridley. So I was laughing because I was like, first of all, he's UGA. So I'm like, okay, I'm a Bulldog fan for college football. So I was like, okay, yeah. I've seen most of his games that he played in college, obviously following Georgia, being from Georgia, not originally from Georgia, but living in Georgia. I was like, this is just the perfect setup. Like I'm announcing Riley Ridley to the Chicago Bears. He's playing at University of Georgia, lifelong Chicago Bear fan I am. And yeah, there you go. So literally like there have all the people lined up, as you can see there. My wife's there with the Bears white T-shirt on, and just we had a blast, man. But I was so happy because I did my pick early on, and I didn't have to prep, didn't have to worry about it. Got it done, and then got to just enjoy all the festivities at Soldier Field. So it was awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
Experience, man.
Yeah.
That would be peak Bears fandom, but you've done so much stuff. Where does it rank for you? Is that your number one?
I would have to say that that's number one. I don't think that there's too much more than higher than that, other than if I was old enough at the time to go to the Super Bowl in '85, played in '86 in New Orleans and see Super Bowl 20 live. That would be number one. If I could have ever met Walter Payton, who is my favorite Bears, the reason why I'm a Bears fan, that would have been number one for sure. The draft is certainly it has to be number one in my books. And I've been blessed. My wife and I have been blessed, been able to do a lot of things with the Bears, and we give back, and that's why we support all the charitable functions of the Bears, both on and off the field. And we just try to do what we can, and it's a great organization, great team. But yeah, we certainly were, for myself with the draft was certainly an experience that I'll never forget. I'm still trying to find Riley so he can sign the draft card that I have. Yeah. I said I'm not going to do anything with it until he signs it. So Riley, if you're watching the show, we got to connect, man. I got to get you that card to sign at some point.
Yeah, what a keepsake that is, man. And absolutely, like that's awesome just to be part of that and just to have that as being a Bears fan and just to have that experience. Let's
the cherry on top is that he went to your college, man. If I could announce a pick for the Bears and he happened to go, I'm a Kentucky fan.
There you go.
And he happened to go here at UK.
Right.
Bears fandom just over the edge.
Right. Yeah. It's just so many things just crossed and just came together like just the perfect alignment. So that's what I chalk it up to. Just perfect timing.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I know Mike had mentioned it earlier about the jersey, but why don't you let the fans know, let everybody know that, that's in the chat. Let these guys know what's going on with your jersey giveaway that you're doing and how they can enter and everything, man. Just take it away.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So, yeah, I was talking to my wife and, I've got a plethora of jerseys just through the years of buying, collecting, so forth and so on. And when I thought about it a couple of weeks ago and I said, I really want to do kind of an end of the regular season jersey giveaway. There's no fee for it, nothing of that nature. And all you got to do is be on Twitter. You don't even have to follow me. I know some people say, follow me, retweet it. Nah, you don't even have to do that. You don't want to follow me. That's fine. You can still be in the contest. I won't be offended. But basically, I said I want to do a giveaway for a jersey. So once the Bears announced that they were going to honor Gale Sayers for today's game, I said, well, it's definitely got to be a Sayers jersey. So I've got a brand new jersey. There's no tags, but it's never been worn. Gale Sayers that I'm giving away. And all you have to do is find the post that I sent out on, I think it was, I don't know if you guys pull it up, but I think it was like a couple days ago. I think it was Saturday. Or no, I would say Friday, maybe Thursday or Friday. Anyhow, go to my post, find that post. There's 3 things that you have to do. You have to first predict who's going to win, Bears or Packers. Second, you have to predict how many. Second is the score, combined scores. So both teams combined score, and then last but not least is how many touchdowns will Montgomery have today as well. And they all have associated point values for getting it correct. And the person with the most points wins. If there's any ties with the most points, then it will go to based on timestamp of who replied the quickest. So you still have time to enter. The contest will be open through today at 12 p.m. That's Central Time. So you have, roughly 3.5 hours left to still enter. But yeah, go out there. It's just fun. Again, there's nothing to it, but just to have a little fun, answer those 3 questions. Person with the most correct, and obviously based on timestamp with any ties will win the jersey. And then what I'll do is probably won't be today, but tomorrow I'll announce the winner and then get in contact with the winner, get the mailing address and ship the jersey out.
That's awesome, man. And it's good. It's one that it's just for, hey, let's just have some fun and do this,
Exactly.
And that's what we've kind of been doing with some of the Allen Robinson signed footballs. There's been a few that we're like, make a donation, any type of donation to within reach, right, and give us a screenshot. We'll send you a ball.
There you go.
So, and just to do that, and for all you guys in the chat and everybody watching the show right now, I just shared it from the Barfly Tailgate account. So, an easy way to find it, just go ahead over there and you'll see it. You'll see the rules and get entered, man, for your chance to win.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. And yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. It's about having fun. We're Bears family, and that's first and foremost. And I know we have the good, bad, and the ugly, and we got to bring more good out. You know what I mean? And it's good just to have kind of that positive energy flowing through Twitter. I know sometimes there's a lot of negativity through it, but I mean, I get it. We're all diehard, and we want the team to win. And nobody wants the team to win any more than any of us. So let's just keep doing our thing. But yeah, I appreciate that, guys. You guys are doing awesome work. So it's good to see. Real good to see.
Terence, man, I got to actually, I don't know if you remember, you may not, but I actually got to meet you and your wife at Bears 100. I actually stood in line with your wife waiting to meet Mike Brown.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say the Mike Brown autograph.
Yeah, for quite some time. I think you were waiting on Khalil.
I was on, I was going to say it was either Khalil or Devin, but I think it was Khalil. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. I got to meet you. I got to meet Mike and his dad there as well.
Yeah.
Just such an awesome experience that the Bears put on
that was fun.
But it was such a pleasure to meet you, man. I have my last question that I have for you is I actually have 2-parter.
Okay.
I need a bold prediction
for
today's game and your score prediction.
Okay. Bears win without question. And we're going to, again, going back to what I said, the fundamentals, no turnovers for Mitch, winning the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively. Bears 27, Packers 20.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I love it, man.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Is that your bold prediction though? Is that a bold prediction or is that just a score prediction?
Well, I guess that's my score prediction because there's nothing bold about it because we're coming in this game with fire, and we're gonna take care of business.
So, I guess the bold prediction is that the Packers are gonna hold us to under 30 points because I mean, we're just tearing them up,
Yeah, I mean, offense a little bit off, only 27 today. I'll take it though. But I'll say bold prediction. Allen Robinson goes off like he's never gone off before.
Nice.
And what that means, that could mean 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, could mean a combination, 2 touchdowns, maybe $125 receiving, something big for Robinson today. He's going to be kind of the secret weapon because I think Montgomery's going to do well. I think Mitch is going to do well. I think the defense is going to do well. But I think specifically, I'm looking for A-Rob to have the game of his life as a Bear. And he's already had amazing games as a Bear. So, but today's going to be a little bit different, a little special.
I know, man, and I hate to drop the mood in here, right? But I was thinking,
he always does it.
I was thinking about this yesterday, man, and this could potentially be the last time A-Rob walks out with a Bears jersey on.
Oh,
and all the miscues, the missteps, I would say, by higher ups in this situation. And obviously we don't want that to happen. He comes on the show. He's been on the show a few times and we've loved the guy, man, and do all kinds of stuff with within reach. But all right, I'll just sip a bit, take a nice sip of STFU and continue.
We need, come on, Bobby, positivity.
Yeah, we'll leave that shit for
All right, Terence, so we'll let you get going, man. We appreciate you joining the show.
Awesome, fellas.
Love to see everything that you have, man, and nothing but continued wishes of health and success for you and the family. And once this whole thing, once the floodgates open again, man, and these barricades are down and we can all actually get together or something somewhere, we'd love to meet up with you and have a beer or something, man.
Absolutely. No, I really appreciate it, guys. Keep doing your thing, Barfly. You guys are awesome. Love the show. Love the content. Keep doing the good, man. You guys are awesome. So thanks for having me first and foremost. And you guys stay safe too. Stay healthy. Let's get the W today. Let's get that win today. Again, I don't care how we get in the playoffs either, but I want to beat Packers. We always want to beat the Packers. And there's nothing better than once again having the setup to embarrass that team from the north and take care of business. So, hey, if you go down to that tunnel, let me know. I might have to do a quick little jog down Michigan Avenue and meet you there.
At the end, I'll see you around noon.
Awesome. Yeah, there we go. But no, guys, I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Appreciate
it.
Man.
Go Bears.
Go Bears.
All right, Barflies, that was Mr. Terence Young. He joined us, just a diehard Bears fan, man. Great dude. Him and his wife, you guys follow them on Twitter. But they're always, you always see Bears stuff coming from there. And then, out of the kindness of his heart or out of their hearts, they're raffling off a Sarah's jersey today. And I mean, just a great dude to have on Bear Packer Week on the, when it all comes down to that, when that fuel's running inside you,
Yeah.
A great energy from that guy. And he counters Bobby's negativity, I guess. But I mean, like such a good dude, awesome guest. And we're pumped to have him on.
Absolutely, man. So building off of this, and I don't think we need to recap last week at all? I mean, we
recapped it for about 5 hours on the other day.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of did on the New Year's show. But we do have to figure out how we want to give this ball away today. I don't know if we want to do score predictions or whatever, but we'll figure that out throughout the show here. Badge, having Terence on, man, and just bringing these guys in, and we're gonna have another guest. We got Austin joining us in a little while, but bringing these guys in, man, does it like just keep pumping you up for this game, or is there getting no higher than this right now, man?
Dude, I slept like shit. I woke up, and I mean, had I not pulled the door open, I would have fucking just walked through it because that's how ready I was, even though I didn't sleep at all. Like, without a shadow of a doubt. Hearing other Bears fans and seeing other Bears fans just as excited as we are, it totally has to pump you up that much more. I mean, I've had the ability to be at a Bears-Packers game at Soldier Field, the home opener in 2015. It didn't go as well as I had hoped. And, of course, we came out of there with a loss, but the energy, the camaraderie from Bears fans. I mean, Bears were down late and they didn't quit. They didn't give up. And,
Yeah.
you know, it was a Jay Cutler interception, unfortunately, that they were driving, and it cost, you know, Jay gets picked by AJ Hawk, I believe. It was him or Clay Matthews. It might have been Clay Matthews, actually.
One of those white linebackers, huh?
Yeah, it
There was
just
somebody that uses a lot of fucking conditioner in their hair.
yeah, totally. It just fucking, you know, one of those things that we had a ton of fun. But that late push, you know, we were on the bus heading back to our hotel because we had to actually drive home direct from Soldier Field, and people on the bus, fucking Cutler, Jesus Christ, fucking throw it. Yes, piss and shit. Perfect example of those two shitheads.
We got Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings hopping in. The fireman caught a couple minutes here. KB, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, fellas, man? I see y'all boys been up and at it, man. So, you know, your boy had to jump on, man. And running late on Black People Time, PPT. You know how it is.
Man, what's so we already kind of went around a little bit, but today's game, man, first off, are you gonna be able to watch? Are you on call? Are you at the firehouse or what's the deal?
I'll be able to watch. Yeah, I'll be able to watch today, man. I'm at the crib. Oh, whoa! The YouTube came in on the phone. But no, I'm gonna be able to watch this one, man. I'm gonna sit down and enjoy this.
Hey, we're all here, so you know it's gonna be a dub, obviously.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Whenever your boy don't jump on, I get cussed out. So you know how it is, man. You know this game because you ain't on. Yeah, I'm on, man. Come on. We both
told you I'm on.
Because of Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm definitely blaming half that shit on you, man, just because, you know. All right, boys, let's get into this talk a little bit. We got some of the audio from this week. We got stuff lined up for the show. I kind of want to get into a discussion point that we have here about Aaron Rodgers and what he thinks of our middle linebackers. About our linebacker crew, I guess. So, I mean, obviously, we all know it's been a weak point for us. Maybe not so much in the Roquan area, but with the other guys, getting their sack counts up, with the other guys, with Pagano dropping some of these guys out in the flat, we all know that you see any of them backpedaling out in the flat, that Bears Twitter is about to erupt with people asking why the hell is he going that way and not this way. But we'll put this in. It's what Aaron Rodgers had to say about the linebacking crew.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the best, if not the best, group of linebackers. I've always been a fan of Danny. I think he's a great tackler, a downhill guy who brings it every single time. And Roquan is just so talented sideline to sideline. He's a dynamic player. Been ascending since he got there. I remember he was holding out, and we were kind of, hoping they wasn't going to play a couple years ago, just because you knew the talent level that he had. But he's a special player. Akeem is just a difference maker. He's a big body inside who just does so many things. He's so stout against the run. It's hard to move him. He's just such a solid player inside. So it's not just having him back, but the urgency of being in a position to make the playoffs changes everything. And they're already a very solid football team. Add a little extra motivation of getting into the playoffs definitely makes them more dangerous.
Well, I mean, coming from Aaron Rodgers, I find stuff hard to believe. Anything comes out of his mouth, I sometimes think is a bunch of shit. So I'll just be honest with that. I definitely think he does, have respect for the linebackers and Akeem. I'm rocking 96 today because I fully expect Akeem to get in there and bust him in his ass right out the gate. So I'm really hoping that becomes the case. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. People, he's a phenomenal quarterback. I hate to say it because of the colors he wears, but the guy is one of the top quarterbacks in this game. You look what he's done this season. He's had a phenomenal season. There's what more can you say about him? Granted, he's only got one Super Bowl in Green Bay. Brett Favre had the same thing. This team, it looks primed right now. I mean, they've got things working really well on both sides of the ball. They've got an excellent kicker in Mason Crosby, who, yes, he's had some issues in the past. But, in big games, Mason Crosby's been lights out, and Aaron Rodgers in big games has been lights out. This is going to be tough for this Bears team today, but I think the Bears are ready. I think that first game was a fluke. And, if I'm Green Bay, yeah, you guys have talked a lot, but I got to believe they're a little bit nervous going into this game today.
Yeah, I agree. That's high praise from Aaron Rodgers. Like you say, you can't believe everything he says. That might be true, but I mean, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. There's no other way to say it. And for him to be able to speak highly of people at different levels of our defense, and you're wearing 96, which is perfect today. I agree with you. I think he's going to have a big game, and it all starts up front. So we've been saying it. You got to get pressure on this guy. You can't let him just, like the last game, you said it was a fluke. That's what made it fluky, is we were rushing 3 guys. So he just got to stand back there and scan the field and just wait for one of his guys to cut right and get open. And, Rodgers is a surgeon. He's just going to, his accuracy is just always on point.
Yeah, and I feel like this entire defense is going to be playing with a chip on their shoulders, the size of the city of Chicago, the size of Soldier Field. They got called out after that game, I think every single player, Danny T, Roquan. We saw Roquan do it last week, right? Roquan was a Pro Bowl snub, and days later, here he comes with 2 picks. These guys, they play with passion. These guys care. Like, this team cares. It's kept them together through a losing streak and got them to where we are. So as much as we hated to see that Green Bay game in week 12 go down the way that it did, hey, man, everything happens for a reason. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise, because every one of those players is playing with a little extra juice today. And having Hicks back, we talked about, I think before that game, not having him there, you're missing the heart of the defense. We got him back today. There are a lot of things that have changed about the team, obviously, since that week 12 game. But, man, I got to believe that these guys are playing with a chip on their shoulder, the size of the city, and we're going to see a completely different effort. And I don't care who Aaron Rodgers is. I don't care what he's done in the past. I think he's going to have dirt on his jersey. I think he's going to have hands on his face all day. Well, hopefully not on his face, but around his face, near his face. And he's going to have a tough game. Right?
That's a penalty, man. You can't put your hands in his face.
It's only a penalty when it's on Rodgers. It's not when it's on Mitch and we fumble the ball, and because that happened in week 12.
Right.
We don't get called.
They seem to. That's the only thing I really like. We need a fair game out of the refs today. And I know the Packers fans are like, the Bears fans are going to say that it was this or it was that. The NFL, every other team in the NFL knows that the Packers get fucking help from the refs all over the place. I mean, there's extra plays. There's the one video of where they're like half a yard short of first down, and then Rodgers is like, no, that's a first down. And the ref like moves the ball and is like, oh, gotcha. Thanks, man. So I think that there's definitely, maybe it's his level of, just how long, I don't know, man. It just seems like he's always telling the refs how to do their damn job and what the call is, instead of one of the guys that are waiting to hear what the call is.
He just talks to me. You see it in other games, not just Bears games, the lack of holding calls. I know the NFL has made it a point this season to not call holding a lot. Well, you're letting go some of the most obvious fucking holding calls, last week you witnessed it multiple times where they had an arm wrapped around a guy's neck and there's no flag thrown. It's got to be a partial game today. Things that are missed, these games especially the games that have playoff implications. The officials need to be on point today. And I'm somebody who, I know we'll probably never know about it if it happens now. If an official makes a mistake, there should be a fine. If they screw up, there should be a fine. Just like if a player punches somebody and gets fined or bumps an official, whatever, officials should have those same standards. And I think you would see a lot of this shit stop. I want to see a good, clean game from both teams, and the officials should have no fucking impact on how any of these games go today.
Yeah. And I don't even know who our officiating crew is today. But I could see that going two ways though, right? Because this is a second job for most of them. For everybody in the chat, I don't know if you guys know or not, but most of these guys are like lawyers, doctors, or have some sort of main profession. And that's the main problem, I believe, with NFL officiating, is that it's not their number one job. Like, these dudes have their bread and butter, their main money that comes in, so they spend less time knowing the rules or studying the rules. Like, they take the test and that's it, right? Now I'm an official. Which crew am I on? Cool. And there's less time going over the game and doing everything like that. So I feel like if this was a head job, if this was a number one job for these guys, that it would be more important to them. But I mean, that's kind of just going down the rabbit hole of the whole officiating and all that shit. So Craig Worlstad is the referee today. Is he the head referee? I don't even know who that dude is.
Yeah, I never even heard his name before. I'm not sure.
I hope he's not the referee that was in charge of the Colts game, because they tried their best to give that game to the Packers. Like 10 holding calls in a row. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean,
okay, that's him. All right, I know who he is.
First down. Aaron said it's a first down.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people in the chat are talking about the injuries and that we got today. And yeah, we're gonna need big games. We're gonna need big games out of some players. We kind of went over that on New Year's Day, but seems like a lot of people are talking about it here. So we'll get into that here in a second. But I kind of want to double back, because we got Rodgers talking about our inside linebackers, right? About our linebacker crew and what they bring to the table. We also have Roquan talking about what Aaron Rodgers brings to the table. So let's drop that in here, and then Mike, go ahead and pick it up when this thing wraps.
Yeah, we obviously know this guy make a lot of adjustments at the line. He's a great guy, great at what he do, plays the game at a very high level. But it's going to be more so about us. Like, he's going to do what he's going to do, and we're going to do what we're going to do, and we're just going to let it go from there. We're not like trying to make this any special than what it is. We know it's the biggest game because it's the next game, and that's our focus right now. So just thinking about it from that standpoint.
What is the mental challenge for you, particularly before the ball is snapped?
It's just more so about just identifying formations and keys and tendencies, and just recognizing what they like to do in certain situations, and then also about just playing what you get, not like assuming or anything like that, just playing what you see.
Yeah, and I think that's what you want to hear and see from a guy like Roquan. He said the same thing last week. I mentioned the Pro Bowl snub. They asked about it before the Jacksonville game, and he said, "Look, I just got to play my game and prove who I am." And you're seeing the same thing now. He don't care about Rodgers. He don't care about the Packers. He don't care about the referees. He's saying nothing about referees. They got to play their game. He's got to play his game. And if they win, they play the game that they're capable of, they can win this game. He knows that. He's a Pro Bowl caliber player that, I think if he steps up, we're in really good shape today. I don't care who the quarterback is on the other side of scrimmage. Yeah,
I agree, man. And I think Roquan has shown that he can keep pace with some of the best quarterbacks in the league, right? And we all know that it's a chess match. The quarterback's over there calling an audible. Roquan's over there doing his thing, right? And he's shown that he can do it, man. Obviously, he's not the one that's bringing that's calling pressure or bringing the pressure from one side or another. But I think it's definitely that he has the mental aptitude that he's able to keep pace with these guys. And I feel that it's he's just gonna in a long line of lustrous middle linebackers that Roquan is filling that piece for Chicago, and he's just ready to bring it today, man, and prove it. AC, I see you smiling, man. What you got? You don't like that long line of middle linebackers or what? Uh-oh. I
Oh,
think we lost him.
I love the long line of middle linebackers and some Roquan.
You got to be on the line. AC, we lost you, man. You're breaking up. I mean, I know you love the long line of middle linebackers. I don't know if you love the online of middle linebackers because I feel like we just lost you. Yeah. KB, over to you, man. What does Roquan got to do today in order to seal the deal to get these Bears into the playoffs, and how does he, hype this team to get it going, man?
It's simple and put, bro. You got to be a menace. That's what it comes down to. You got to be all over the field. He has to be in the backfield. I want to see blisters today, man. I'm sorry. Tampa Bay gave us the recipe. 47.6% being blitzed against Rodgers when they played Tampa Bay. Roquan needs to be flying up the middle, coming off. I don't give a damn. Put him on the edge. Let him go off the edge. I don't care where you put the dude. He needs to come after Rodgers. He needs to be a menace. That is how you beat Green Bay. Make the dude uncomfortable. Hell, shit. I don't care if he tripped over a guy and his knee popped. I don't care. I'm not a Rodgers fan. I don't care about wishing bad things on him. But it comes down to, it's simple and put. Just be all over the field, man. Do what you do. We all know he's instinctive. We all know that he likes to be all over the field and make plays. That's what he has to do today if this defense stands a chance.
I couldn't agree with you more, KB. I mean, to me, you've seen Roquan, whether it's a scheme blitz or him recognizing that the coverage is good and he breaks in and makes a play on the quarterback. You saw it a couple weeks ago. I want to say it was Detroit, but I'm blanking for some reason. AC, let's get your thoughts since we lost you there for a minute.
Well, I was connected to the router and it kicked me off, so I just connected straight to the modem. We'll see if it works out better. I like to call Roquan the silent assassin because he's not loud. He's not a rah-rah guy, but he just shows up, does his job, and gets it done. And I think he is probably the best first-round pick Ryan Pace has had, and I think that will continue today. And you need him to. The way he moves sideline to sideline with his speed and knowledge of the game, it's top notch, and he is definitely a Pro Bowl snub. But he's not going to worry about that. He's just going to go out there and do his job like he always does.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think to me the linebacker core and these guys right here, these are the guys that need to really bring it today in order to shut this down. Now I know we need the pressure up front, but with Hicks, with them, Mac, I mean, I guess you could say Quinn, but that should just be a given, right? Nichols, and it wasn't last game. There was I think we only got like maybe one pressure in week 12, if any. It was
I don't think we had any, dude.
No hits.
Yeah. Yeah, no hits.
And it was a 15-yard penalty. He touched him with his hand.
Right.
That's the only time I remember Rodgers getting touched.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, for the guys who really need to step up today is that defensive line, but the guys who are win or lose, I believe, is the linebacker core. Those are the dudes who need to bring it, who need to. I mean, they're going to be in coverage. We all know that. We can say we don't want to see it, but we know they're going to be in coverage. We know Danny T probably shouldn't be in coverage. And it's a piece that we've seen get attacked throughout this season, and it's not something that we're looking for. But Hicks Chuck Pagano did come out and say that there's a little different look for this defense, and that he sees something different in his eyes. Now, I wish Chuck's eyes worked, that good when he was talking about, coverage and stuff like that. But we have a little clip.
He should put his fucking glasses on.
Yeah, we have a little clip here of Hicks talking about what Pagano sees in the defense's eyes. So let's drop this in here and then go from there, fellas.
Light switch on. We're all the way up. Brightness in the room, no dimmer. We want to play football. We're excited to play this game. So I would imagine there is some different looks in some guys' eyes. For me, it's a week-to-week thing. Coming, starting on Wednesday, you start getting geared up. You start understanding what they got going on. Thursday, you're feeling it out. Maybe you're working on your pass rush. But by time Friday comes, you got to be ready to feel it. You got to be ready to feel it. Get your rest on Saturday and ball on Sunday. It's a formula and it's a routine. So I would imagine this time of the week, guys are getting pretty excited.
Do you feel more adrenaline than usual, or is it the same? Like you prepare the same?
I'm always up, man. I keep a high level of just going.
Yeah, Keem is that statement does not shock me at all. He definitely always has high energy, and this is why he is, to me, the leader of this defense. He's your vocal guy. He's your guy that, man, when he makes a play, you see everybody on that fucking defense running to him, celebrating with him when he makes a play. And we are going to need him today up front to make an impact. I think you said a decent season. I still think he's a little hurt from that hamstring. But I think all that is off the table today. I think he's going to go out. And I think this Bears defense is going to show the Packers what their defense was really meant to be this season, without a shadow of a doubt. And it all starts to me up front with Akeem Hicks.
Well, he didn't play in that last game, so he's just itching to get after this Packers team. He is. I think his family is from Chicago, so him and I think Cole Kmet, they really know exactly what this rivalry is all about because of the history between these two teams. And I'm sure it killed him to not be able to play in that first game. And one more thing about Akeem Hicks, they asked him about the Bakhtiari injury. I don't know if Aldo has that clip or not, but he was very classy, and he was just like, I'm going to show up and do my job, and I'd rather not speak on what's going on with David because he's hurt. And every NFL player knows what that's like, or every football player, period, knows what it's like to want to be out there with your teammates, and you can't because you're sidelined with injury.
You guys have probably lived through it too. I mean, as an athlete, even in your young days, if you were hurt and couldn't be out there with your teammates, I think that's worse than, anything. And it has to be difficult for these guys that want to be out there fighting and not able to do that. I mean, I fucking was injury prone. I'm 41 years old and I've had fucking 13 surgeries from playing sports. So, I feel for David Bakhtiari. I totally do. To have that happen at this point in your season, and you guys, the Packers, I mean, you're in good shape. You're sitting in a good place. You win. You've got the number 1 seed going into the playoffs, and now you lose the guy that's protecting your franchise quarterback. Yeah. That's a huge blow for a team, but that's not going to change what the Packers have done so far this season. That's just going to make it a little tougher. The Bears, as obvious as this is, they have to capitalize on it. And with Bakhtiari not there, it's got to be Robert Quinn, Khalil Mack, Barkevius Mingo, Travis Gibson, if he's actually, active today. James Vaughters, if he's back and active today. This is something that has to happen. And if you guys look last week, I know we didn't touch on the Jaguars game today because we touched on it on Friday's New Year's show, but we didn't get to Mike Glennon an awful lot. And the Jaguars are 1-13. So
and they didn't have their starting running back.
I mean, we have to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers today. And if it has to be sending multiple looks at that left tackle on every down, fuck it. We got to do it. It has to happen today.
Yeah, not just the Bakhtiari situation, but I think you got to believe that the Green Bay Packers have some NFL ready talent that's ready to step up and step in. Look at
our draft well. That's what the Packers do.
Yeah, so anybody that's looking at the injury is okay, that's a problem how we're going to win the game, there's no shot. But the Bears have to win the one-on-ones all across the trenches, not just at left tackle or I think he plays offensive tackle on the left side, not just that position, but all across the line. So for everything that I'm hearing about Bakhtiari, everything that I saw yesterday, the day before, like, I think we have to remember that the Packers have NFL ready talent, just like we did with Mustapher and Bars stepping in and stepping up. So
yeah, but I do feel that of course that they have talent to play there, but I think it's Bakhtiari to them is kind of like Akeem to us for this defense. That it's the energy that's brought to the game, it's the leadership that's brought to the game, and that's definitely gonna be missing for them today, right? And I think he just brings a different attitude, like Kyle Long used to bring to the game. Just a different attitude for the offensive line that they're going to be missing today. And what better time to see Aaron Rodgers throw a tablet across the field, right? Yelling at guys on the line because they're getting just beat, and blown off the ball. And that's what we need, man. We need these guys. We need this front. And that's what I was kind of getting at. We need this front to step up with these big names. And I get it. Yeah, cool. You're taking this guy, you're taking that, but they're still moving the ball down the field. Like Badge had mentioned, Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon marched down the field on us, and it was ugly. I mean, it was just straight ugly. Yeah, and if you let Aaron Rodgers do that, he is gonna just tear this shit apart, man. He is gonna tear this
microcosm of that first game, Bobby. I mean, that's what he did that first game. Those first 3-4 possessions, they marched right down the field on our defense.
Yeah,
like we weren't even there.
Yeah, definitely, man. And then, I mean, if you get no pressure, and then you got Vildor and Shelley back there filling in for Jalen today, and Buster. I mean, these guys they're gonna need help from the front, man. They're gonna need help from the front. Maybe we see one of them come out and just kill it today. Hopefully, I'll tell you my bold prediction now is Duke getting a pick. But I'm just saying that I think the added pressure is what is going to be needed to help those dudes and to make them get in that feel for the game, because we all know that as a player or being back there, when you start to get tore up, man, it's the mood kind of changes. And here's Glennon. I mean, Glennon sat back there. That whole pocket is clean, man. And look at, I mean, this dude's got time. And he's able to go through reads and pick who he wants to throw to. And there's no like frustration, or he's not flustered back there getting it. If we let this Green Bay team do kind of what Jacksonville did here, here's another 3rd and 5, kind of what Jacksonville did here, the 1-13 Jaguars, we're going to be in for some trouble, man. And I just feel like this defense, they need to coincide with this offense. The offense has found it. They found their fucking energy. They woke the fuck up, and that's what we need out of this defense.
Yeah, and a big thing that I was noticing there on those highlights that worries me is the way that running back was able to gash us. I mean, that running back was a guy that they pulled him out of the ticket line coming into the stadium and were like, hey, you want to play some running back for us? And he was just able to gash it. The way Aaron Jones has been tearing people up this year, it's going to be a task. I see a high scoring game. Maybe that's just me, and I'll save it for my bold score predictions. But the defense hasn't been excellent, but they've stepped up when they needed to step up. And to me, that's what championship defenses do. They're not, if you watch the Chiefs play, or if you watch the way the Patriots used to play, they're not shut you down all day long. They're, okay, we need to step up here and give our offense the ball back and give them a shot.
I don't know what that noise is in the background, but somebody's got something. Oh, that's KB. You got fire trucks and shit fucking turning on over there, man. Like,
I was like, what the hell is that? I thought I was losing internet again.
It's back again, man. I don't know what you're doing over there, but it sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, so we heard in the Roquan clip, right? We heard him say that it's just another game. The most important game is the next game. And we heard him go through and talk about it. And we got another one here with A-Rob talking about playoffs and that. And let's go ahead and we'll drum this thing up. We'll come back. We'll double back on A-Rob. And then shortly we're going to have our next guest joining us. So if you're in the chat, fire any questions you have for Austin from Lakeshore Live. He's going to be joining us here shortly. And otherwise, here comes this A-Rob clip.
Wanting to get back to the playoffs. Again, for myself, I've only been there. I've played in the playoffs once. So for me, that's the most important thing. Like I said before, from day one, when you come into a situation, whatever the case may be, you want to play meaningful games in December and January. And I've told people that, and that's the most important thing. And that's the most fun thing. That's what you play the game for. You play the game for weeks like this. Whereas you win, you get in. And I don't think that anybody is. I don't think that anybody is remiss to say that. We know that, that's the excitement of the game. And that's what you train in the offseason for. That's what you do all the heavy lifting for and all that stuff for weeks like this.
A-Rob needs – I love A-Rob, man. He's always above board. He never takes shots. He goes out and plays and puts his actions on the field, man. That's just what he does. You saw him last week. He was phenomenal last week's game. Mitch looked to him an awful lot. As Terence said earlier in the show, he's hoping and expecting him to have a big game. I totally agree with Terence. I definitely think that if we follow the makeup offensively that we've used over the last few weeks here, get this run game going, I think Allen's going to have a big game. And I think Mitch is going to have a big game with Allen as well. And I'm excited, guys. I know you guys in the chat are excited as well. I'm excited to hopefully get Allen another opportunity here to get into the playoffs and maybe this time do some damage.
Yeah, he deserves it too. There's not too many players in the NFL that have worked their asses off as much as him and just not had a surrounding cast. He had a great defense in Jacksonville, but nobody to throw him the ball. And he saw sort of a similar situation here in Chicago. There's nobody that deserves playoffs more than A-Rob. So you'd love to see him get in with this team. And, whatever happens after this year is going to happen. It's going to come down to dollars. But here's a guy, that I think deserves it more than anybody else. If the Bears play well together, if they match him up against Kevin King and take advantage of maybe a solid matchup there, there's no reason he can't go off like that. 150, like that's not out of the question. A couple TDs, and we're rocking and rolling. But he deserves it, man. He's a guy that he's earned every bit of it.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the flip side. Not that he hasn't earned every bit of it. I totally agree with that. But I think with Jair Alexander, with King, right, with Savage, with Amos. I'll go with a touchdown for sure. I just don't see like a blow up game coming from A-Rob's side. KB, you just need to mute, dude. Coming from A-Rob's side, man. I think this is a bigger, under game. I think this is a bigger Jimmy Graham game. I think this is a bigger Mooney game. Those crossing routes, the drags. I see that more of the game. And now we have seen some of those with A-Rob, right? And some of them quick hits with him. But I see, a big attack under there and getting after it like that, man. All right, we got our boy in the house. Let me go ahead and do this little introduction here for all you guys in the chat. Our boy, Mr. Austin from Lakeshore Live. He's here to join us. Uncle Mike 21. Austin, what's up, brother? How you doing today, man?
What's going on, fellas? You guys can hear me okay? We're good?
Yeah.
We're good to go. What's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me on. Very excited. I am pumped for this game. It's snowfall in Chicago. It's a beautiful bear weather day, and we're ready for hopefully a Packers win. Yeah, I'm pumped to be here, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we had Terence on earlier, and we kind of just been going around the room, right, talking about everything that's coming today, man. Just like off the bat, I know you got a show. You got a show in a little while, and go ahead and feel free to plug that whenever you want, man. But what do you see today? What is your determination of what needs to happen today from this defense in order to take this game, man?
Yeah, this is a tough one for sure. I think they'll be okay with the run. I think the big thing, as it is every week here. It's going to be stopping Devontae Adams. So with no Jalen Johnson, that's going to be even a tougher task. I think the thing for Chuck here is to make sure that he matches up at least Roquan on Devontae Adams if they're going to be doing a linebacker wide receiver mix there, because I know Adams is all over the slot. He's outside as well. So if he has to be matched up against a linebacker, which I hope it doesn't happen, it's got to be it's got to be Roquan who's better in coverage, and then you really have to make sure that you're putting pressure on Aaron Rodgers. That's the thing that we didn't get last game, and we haven't really seen in a while. So if this team wants to win, you have to put pressures on Rodgers, or if you give him the time that we had or that we gave him last matchup, it'll be a nightmare. So you have to get to him. I know Chuck doesn't like to blitz, but you got to blitz him today. At least 5 throw him off. But you got to be aggressive. I mean, it's do or die today. So you have to be aggressive and you have to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and coming from Chuck, obviously when he came to the Bears, the very first thing that I remember him saying is when you have a guy like Khalil Mack, you got to get him going this way and not so much that way. And we've seen him kind of back off of that and back off of the attack style of defense and play that soft zone and kind of sit back, man. Like we just not even 5 minutes ago, we had the clips of Mike Glennon marching downfield on us. This defense, I mean, we feel obviously needs to step it up front. They need to get that pressure. They need to get the sacks going, and it'll do. Obviously, it's going to help Duke and Vildor. With the whole Duke and Vildor situation and Jalen being out, man, it's going to be tough it could possibly be easy pickings for Rodgers to kind of pick on those guys, right, and get after it. Something that we had talked about was the moving of Fuller. Do you see Fuller moving, just like staying on Adams, or do you see him doing what they always do and just keeping him on his side, man?
I don't know. I mean, you would like to see Fuller on him all game, but judging how it's gone week to week, you have to imagine that you're going to get the rookies on him at some point in the game. So yeah. It'll be tough. Obviously, if you could have Fuller on the whole game, that's easy. But based off how the entire season has gone and the defense with Chuck has gone the past, 2 years, I would imagine that we're going to be seeing the rookies on him a couple times. And we're just going to have to – the safeties are just going to have to help over the top. I mean, that's the only thing that, you can ask for. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough matchup. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to get to Aaron Rodgers. I think if you get to Aaron Rodgers, he's not even going to have time to see Devontae Adams. So you got to somehow create pressure, make him uncomfortable in the pocket, and then, you'll be able to solve that Adams issue.
Yeah, for sure, man. Badger, I know you're up, man. What you got?
I was gonna say,
okay, go ahead.
Throw this in there real quick, man, because it's something that we have to pay attention to, man. It comes down to being a lot more than just Fuller just being on Devontae Adams. A question is being called in of height. You saw what happened last week. Kendall Vildor had perfect coverage on DJ Shark, but DJ Shark is all of 6'3", 6'4". Kendall Vildor is all of 5'10". Devontae Adams might be the shortest wide receiver the fucking Packers have. You look at Alan Lazard, he's 6'5". My man played tight end while he was in college. Equinemius St. Brown is another one. He's another 6'4", 6'5" type of receiver, and he plays the slot. You got what's my other Marquez Valdez Scanlon?
Yeah,
6'4", 6'5". As much as we want to see Fuller just shadow Devontae Adams, it might not end up in our favor because
I just don't see. I don't see them doing it, KB. I just don't see them changing what they, moving Fuller around. I don't think that's his game. It's not something you've seen anybody do with him really since he's come into the league. Maybe early in his career, but it's basically
one side of the field. That's what Fuller does.
Yeah,
but
Austin, I want to ask you, man. So you sit here and you look at this defense, man, and you got some young guys now that are going to have to step up, which the last couple of weeks they've done. Obviously, the ball placement from Glennon last week on the throw to DJ Shark. Vildor did his best to make a play. Obviously size is a big issue. I think the thing that concerns me a little bit more is, so let's say we're able to shut down the receivers. Well, who's left to cover Robert Tonyan, who's having a phenomenal year, from that tight end position? Yeah. Obviously, Roquan is a great possibility, but, the Packers like to move quick, especially in third and short situations and whatnot. You see, they're going to get up to the line, call a quick play, and you don't have the ability to sub out. Is Trevathan as big of a liability as I feel he could be if he's covering Robert Tonyan?
Yeah, and I think especially depends if they have Tonyan going across the middle. But you guys know how they are on that third and short play, whether it's quick or not. They got maybe 3 plays that they go to on those hurry up plays, those short plays, and then most famously it's those pick plays where the 2 inside guys go out. Aaron just rolls out and hits them for a yard gain, and they easy first down. So you have to be able to defend that first. But Trevathan, how Trevathan always in coverage is going to be tough. So if Trevathan is in coverage, it's just, I feel like it's just bound to happen. So if they're just going to have to, I guess, roll with the punches at that point. If they get stuck with Trevathan covering, there's really nothing that they can do. He's going to get burned. Maybe Khalil Mack can chip at the line. That'll help a little bit, or whoever, if he's on Quinn's side. But it's going to be that'll probably be the toughest matchup of the day is Trevathan, whoever Trevathan's guarding, because we've seen Aaron pick on guys, Buster Screen, K. Witt last year. So if Trevathan's in coverage often, we'll probably see him pick apart Danny Trevathan. That's the whole thing with pressure, though. They have to somehow find a way to just make him uncomfortable. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to win the game.
Yeah, for sure, man. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, right? Let's flip the script. I know you're a big Mooney fan, man. We're obviously all big Mooney fans. This kid has exploded onto the scene this year, dude. And now I honestly think that he's just better with Mitch. I think Foles is not either way. I just think the chemistry with Mitch and Mooney is a lot better than it was with Foles. What's your thoughts on this resurgence of this offense, man? And finally clicking. Is this something that Bill Lazor brought to the table? And is this something that we can see going well into the future? Or do you think that it's we'll just see what happens as time goes, man?
Yeah. Being 25, this is the first time I've seen this offense or of any sort perform like this over the course of 4 to 5 weeks. So this has been like a really cool ride. And even if we obviously when we make the playoffs, but if we somehow don't make the playoffs, even enjoying these last 3 games, which have all been playoff games, it's been quite an experience. Yeah. But obviously if they're able to keep this going into the playoffs, that's a team that nobody wants to see. But yeah, it seems like Lazor and Trubisky is the match that we've all been waiting for, which kind of obviously shows how Matt Nagy just doesn't have play calling ability. Just his scheme is pretty solid for the most part, but he just doesn't know how to put plays together that are going to work. He more throws shit at the wall and hopes it sticks. So,
AC, that's an AC comment. You didn't know that, did you? Yeah.
Nice. That's what it is, though. He's on the goal line. He's like, all right, let me take this and throw it at the wall, and then it's like A-Rob off the field, Jimmy Graham off the field, Kmet off the field. You got 3 of your shortest wide receivers in the game. Pick against the Rams. So it's just, it seems like, I don't know, that I think Lazor's first game was the Packers game, I want to say. So it was a little shaky, but after that, it's been just rolling. He's been rolling with this offense. Obviously, he's got a feel.
First game back too.
Yeah, and Mitch is super comfortable. So the best part is for the first time in the Nagy area, we're seeing players get spotlighted in plays. That Darnell Mooney play for the touchdown last week where he came behind the line, that was a great play highlighting Mooney. They get Jimmy Graham in solo coverage. The same thing with A-Rob. You see the difference between Foles and Trubisky. Trubisky looks to A-Rob almost every time in the red zone, and I don't even think Foles barely looks at him. So it just seems like Lazor and Trubisky pairing is something that we've needed for a while, and Trubisky is needed for a while. So I actually think this game's going to be more I saw a comment earlier. I think this game's going to be more offense versus offense today. I don't know. I never thought I'd be saying that, but I've also, the turnaround has been just insane. From the offense being the worst in the league and the defense being top 5. Now it's it's just it's crazy. It's been a crazy year.
After the Lions game, we were ready to fire everybody. Now we're talking playoffs,
I know. Playoffs? 6 losses in a row, too. Just imagine. 6 losses to still finish over 500 would be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, awesome.
I just want to piggyback off what you. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Sorry, KB. A quick question while we're on the offense. I think, going along with the, Lasers' new play calling, we've seen Montgomery emerge as a top 5, top 10 running back in this league. Part of the reason I think we've been able to do that is sustain leads and having leads in games. Green Bay has a tendency to jump out ahead. What's your confidence level that if Green Bay gets ahead today, that Montgomery, that they stick to the run and they don't give up on what's working?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, we saw it last week in spurts, I guess. But Green Bay is a first half team. So if the Bears are able to keep it within maybe a touchdown, a field goal, that would be awesome. I would be very happy if they were down by a touchdown heading into the second half. But I think they start going away. I think Laser will commit to Montgomery until maybe, I would say about a quarter of the way through the third if they're down by 2 touchdowns. But that said, he's been doing so well. I think he's only behind Derrick Henry in yards the last 5 games, if I'm correct there. So ultimately, you don't even need to go away from David Montgomery, even when you're down by a lot. So, I mean, you're not going to give him, a whole bunch of touches every drive, but I think you can still give him the ball and he'll get you yardage. But if the Bears can stay within a touchdown in the first half, and they can constantly move the ball, I'd be feeling really good about that second half. And especially if they're only down by a touchdown in the second half, Laser's going to run the ball and keep the ball away from Aaron Rodgers. And that's the other key today is keep the ball away from the offense for sure. Keep the ball away from the Packers offense.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, keeping our defense off the field, and you're right. Like when you said, we kind of flipped the script this season, right? We went from a defense that was playing well to an offense that was shitty to an offense that's playing great and a defense that's shitty, and we got to find that common ground. I think the resurgence of the offense is definitely, put fear into other teams, man, and watching these last 4 games and seeing this all come together, and I think it does. We kind of mentioned it earlier, but I think it does take away some of that paper tiger shit that was going on at the beginning of the season and shows that this team can really come out and battle. Do I want to get in a shootout with Aaron Rodgers? Hell no, not at all. I don't want to be in that scenario, but I feel if we stick with this running game, right, if we use the short passes as an extension of the running game, and we just, methodically move downfield and stay consistent with the run and the pass and don't get too much naggy into, throwing all passes. I think this game's gonna be sort of a shootout, man. And it comes down to our defense and making tackles. I think it comes down to them just not letting the dude slip a tackle, making the tackle on contact and getting it done, dude. I know you got your show coming up, dude. Why don't you, before we get your prediction and everything, why don't you go ahead and plug what you got going on over at Lakeshore Live and anything you got going on, man?
Yeah, we got Lakeshore Live podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at LSL_pod, Lakeshore Live podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Also, Lakeshore Live podcast on YouTube. We're live on all those platforms at 10 a.m. Central today. Just doing Chicago stuff, having a lot of fun with that. And then if you guys are reality TV fans, I've got actually a pretty kick-ass reality TV podcast. Challenge, Amazing Race, Bachelorette, Bachelor, all that kind of stuff. And we interview some awesome guests there. It's Reali, REALI_T pod. Reality podcast on Facebook and Instagram as well. So just some stuff there. I also want to shout out Mike. Got my neck gator supporting Bears Care. If you guys like the logo as well, you can head up to Deep Dish Tees and check that out as well. Have a great cause. Pumped about this. I just got this when I came back from Pennsylvania yesterday. So
you guys
awesome stuff.
Yeah, you guys have a pretty sweet logo. Made it really, really easy to mock that up. The skyline at the bottom with the different colored blues. But it's good stuff, man. We really
awesome. Yeah, I appreciate the design. It's sweet. I love the skyline and everything in there. So
right on.
Definitely, man. We were talking a little earlier before we started the show about the reality podcast, but I'm gonna tell. I know it's definitely not talking stuff about the Bears really here right now, but. Just so you know, I know you do the challenge on the reality podcast. You know that dude Derek is a huge Bears fan.
Is he really?
tweets
I didn't
about
even know Derek's a
Trubisky.
Bears fan. I didn't even know he's a Bears fan. Oh, he's from Chicago. Duh.
Yeah, dude tweets
Oh,
about
yeah.
Trubisky all the time. So check him out. Maybe you can get him on the
Oh,
fucking
okay.
Reality and the
Okay.
Lakeshore Live. I don't know, man.
All right.
But let me get your bold prediction and then follow it up with a score prediction. And, you know, for anybody in the chat, man, get over to and I need to find out, why is it Uncle Mike? But get over to @UncleMike21 on Twitter. Well, your name's Austin. Who the fuck is Mike?
So I made my Twitter account. I made my Twitter account in high school. I was a sophomore, and he and we were on the bus. I played volleyball in high school, and my teammate said I looked like his Uncle Mike, and I literally made the Twitter account and made it @UncleMike21. Never changed it since, because I started tweeting about Bears. I started getting followers. It's like I should probably change my handle. Nobody wanted me to change my handle. I do a poll like every 3 years, and people just like Uncle Mike. And the best part. The best part is when I interact with people and they call me Mike thinking my name is Mike. I think that's the best part about it.
Absolutely. All right, man. Let's get your bold prediction first, and then we'll follow it up with a score prediction.
Bold prediction first. You know, it's tough because like bold, I usually want to go on offense, but the offense has been so good lately. So bold pick, and this is kind of bold the way the season was going, but Eddie Jackson, I think, gets a pick today. I think Eddie Jackson has his best game of the season. He has to if the Bears are going to win this game. So I like Eddie to get a pick today and possibly return it back to the house. But that's a bold one. And then the other bold game, I think the other bold prediction real quick, I think this game's going to go over 58, 59 points. I think it'll be right around 60 points for the game. The over is at 49.5 right now. If you're a betting man, I would take that. But I think this will be a pretty high scoring game.
Awesome, man. And then, so you got obviously a Bears victory. How much are we? I know you said high scoring. How much are we walking away with this thing? Is it close? Are we biting nails at the end?
Yeah,
or
it's a Santos field goal. 33-30 is what I have.
33-30. Well, Barflies, you heard it, Mike. Well, see, I almost called you Mike. Uncle Mike, we appreciate you joining the show, Austin. Get over to @LSL_pod. Follow these guys, man. Great stuff going on all the time. I met him at camp a couple of years ago. We chat on Twitter back and forth all the time. Great dude, man, and they're always bringing it. We appreciate everything, dude. Let's go out and get this big Bears victory today, man. And we look forward to hearing from you in the future, dude.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy the game today. Go Bears.
You too.
All right, Austin. We'll see you, man.
fellas.
What a great dude, man. I mean, we met a couple of years ago at camp. It was the last camp that there was, unfortunately, and it was the last one that's going to be in Bourbonnais. But we met out there. Great dude, and always back and forth, just Bears talk, just always shooting the shit about the Bears, man, and and getting after it. All right, boys, we're gonna run into this thing. Let's go with a little bit of Mitch, and then let's go with score predictions and all that. KB, Mitch today, dude. How much pressure is on this kid to come through? Is this the biggest game of his career right now, today?
Biggest game in his career. I'd say it's kind of hard to say biggest, man. But we have to be prisoners of the moment at the moment, man. We got to live in the today. Right now, it's the biggest game of his career. You're playing for a contract. You're playing to get a team that has technically, we went on that 6-game losing streak, has no business being in the playoffs. You're on the precipice of getting this team into the playoffs, and you're probably the biggest reason, whether Bears fans want to agree with that statement or not. Mitch is the reason why we're going to be in the playoffs if we make it to the playoffs. If Nick Foles had been our quarterback, we still would be on the slide right now. That's the honest to God truth. Mitch is going to ball out, man. You look at how he's played, he's been unfazed by these past few weeks. He's a different player than what he was. We all give Nagy shit for benching him, but the man might have needed to be benched to realize what he has and what he needs to do.
I agree with that.
Just not as long.
Yeah, just not as long as he should have been. But he needed to be sat down to see somebody come in and take his job so he can understand, dude, I'm the quarterback for this damn team. And these are my players. These are my troops. This is my team. That's what he needed, man. And he's playing like that's what it is, man. So, like I said, living in the moment, biggest game. You're the reason why we're here, man. So that's why I'm looking at it from.
I think so too, and I think everybody in the chat is kind of agreeing that this is, even though Mitch has already had a playoff game, but at this point right now, that this is, the biggest game that he's faced, man. And I think he's going to come out and do it. Well, we just blocked Spike in the chat again. For some reason, this dude thinks we're murderers. Maybe it's because KB's drinking a twisted tea. I don't know, dude. I'm just saying this dude's been
endorsement, bitch. We hit
somebody on this show is going to be charged with the murders is the last thing I seen. Maybe it's me. But whatever. Enough about that, dude. But definitely, I think this is a big game for Mitch, man. I think Mitch's whole, like we've said a number of times, this resurgence factor, right? And him coming back, I think the benching puts a horrible taste in his mouth, though, and that he's ready to go, that he's kind of done with this coaching staff and done with them believing, or not believing or believing in him. But I think it also puts that I'm going to show you right now what you're losing after this season. Badge, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
maybe I'm off here, but that's kind of what I think.
I'm in total 100% agreement with you, Bobby. I think Mitch gets benched. He had a lot of time to himself. He came out, said it in an interview that he was left, cast aside, was left by himself to kind of have to do things on his own. And I think it was a benefit for him. I also believe, as you just said, Bobby, I think Mitch is here the rest of the season. When he became the starter, he was out to show that he could play in this league, and which I think he's done. Now, whether that means he can play in this league and the offense has to be built around what his strengths are, well, good coaching staffs do that. So I think Mitch is going to show out today. I think that the Bears will win this game, go into the playoffs, and I think that the Bears will perform well. And then I think when their time is done, hopefully, fingers crossed, that's with the Super Bowl. I think Mitch is ready to go. I think he was done dirty. I think he took a lot of the blame. I think a lot of the blame was pointed to him as him being the problem, when all along it was the coaching staff not using players to their strengths. And it's unfortunate. You sit here, and a few weeks ago, Mike, we talked about it on Friday and last week's show, and AC and KB, this coaching staff, the things that have transpired under this regime are kind of fucked up. And now you're going to lose a guy like Mitch, who the coaching staff has finally figured out how to use, and yet the coaching staff is still going to be here next season, and it's probably going to be fucking Nick Foles that's our starter because he's under contract. So I think it's piss poor coaching, piss poor front office management on recognizing good players. You can look at multiple positions and see that. Offensive line, quarterback, running back, and that's just on the offensive side of the ball. You saw Buster Skrine getting beat regularly, and they still kept throwing him out there until he got hurt. Chuck Pagano, his defense in the beginning of the season, things seemed to be going well. Well, they hit that losing streak, and the defense was a major part of giving up a lot of freaking points. So if I'm Mitch, I'm out. Fuck it. I don't even want to be here because I don't really think the coaching staff, they say now that they want me here, but they thought Nick Foles was going to come in here and be the fucking godsend of this team and lead this team. Man, Nick Foles couldn't carry Mitch's jock right now. And I don't, all you Foles lovers, sorry, but it's the truth. Foles could not do any of what Mitch is doing right now. I don't give a shit. He couldn't. The guy, it's like, I think Mike Glennon would be a better backup at this point than Nick Foles, personally speaking.
Yeah, KB said that we don't make the playoffs without Mitch, or if we make the playoffs, it's because of Mitch. I agree 100%. Go back to week 1, though. Go back to before the season started. If KB would have said that, you would have been asking, what else is in that Twisted Tea can? There was every one of us believed that the defense was going to carry us through. And Mitch's, after the benching, he came back with a level of swagger and confidence that none of us had ever seen from him before. And this game has implications not just for himself, but across the entire organization. Bears get blown out, fire everyone is right back into the conversation. And it should. And maybe it should be regardless of what happens today. But this is 100% absolutely the biggest game of his career, far and above the playoff game against Philadelphia because of that, because of all the implications and everything that's happened this season. And the fact that he's carried us, or he's gotten us through these last 4 weeks back into contention in a win and you're in scenario where you control your own destiny, 100%. That was all Mitch. So I don't know, man. I mean, go back. Like, I was one of the people that said, let's bench him. Let's see what Foles has, right? I thought he was part or the problem, and I think we learned he wasn't. He really wasn't. And, I mean, this game is huge for him.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Mike. Right after that interception against Atlanta, I tweeted, how long is the leash on Mitch Trubisky? And then the next offensive series, they brought in Nick Foles. He brought us back, and then but to me, the issue was that they stuck with Foles for far too long. They saw that he wasn't athletic enough to do the things that he needed to do. And on top of that, he didn't have a competent play caller. Bill Lazor, Austin was talking about it, the way he stacks plays, running the ball, then run play action off of that, and running several plays out of the same formation to confuse defenses. We just didn't see that a lot with Nagy. If you saw any imagination with Matt Nagy, it was putting a offensive tackle at tight end and throwing the ball to him, or running a reverse that he doesn't even give it to like Mooney or someone with some speed. He gives it to like a tight end on the 1 yard line. Well, that was Lazor, but still, you get my point. Like, so all these factors factored in, and this is definitely, in my opinion, Mitch Trubisky's biggest game, because of all the things that we've said. KB talking about he's either playing for a contract extension with us, or this is a job interview for wherever he goes next year, hopefully. I mean, this is what we're going to do, GMAC here. I'm going to trade Nick Foles to either Indianapolis or Philly, and then we're going to take that money to restructure a contract for Mitch Trubisky for a 2-year contract. And we're going to draft a guy in the second round to back him up. Hopefully Mac Jones will fall to us.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to be have to find out what the hell we're doing next, man. If we can't get him to stick around or whatever. I feel like this whole Chicago narrative has flipped back and forth. But I feel after this last month, right, that people are willing to keep him, and you see a lot of people trying to keep him. All right, before we get into bowl predictions, score predictions, and all that, we're gonna raffle off this signed Allen Robinson football, and in honor of what the Bears are doing today for Gale Sayers, we're gonna do it with a Gale Sayers trivia question. So the first person to answer correctly in the chat will win. So the question is, okay, I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing else in there. I just had to open up the other chat. Rookie touchdown record. Gale Sayers scored how many touchdowns his rookie season? It's still a record from 65. And how many of them were rushing and how many of them were receiving? First person to get that right. So I need the total amount, and then rushing and receiving will get the Allen Robinson autograph football, badge of honor football, and with the Mr. Badge of Honor. Let's kick it over to you, dude. Give me some bold predictions, score predictions, and whatever else you got.
All right. So my bold prediction is that Mitchell Trubisky will lead the Chicago Bears to the playoffs and shake all the demons off in today's game. I think Mitch will have a phenomenal game. I really believe that he is a different player at this point, and that with Bill Lazor calling plays, he's calling plays to the strengths of Mitchell Trubisky. I think Mitch Trubisky will throw 4 touchdown passes today against this Green Bay Packers defense. My score prediction is that the Bears, and I'm kind of thinking I was along the same wavelength as Austin. It's funny. Our points were off for each team by a point. I'm going Bears 34-31 in today's game.
With a big bear down. All right, man. I mean, people in the chat are close. They're close, but they're not right yet. That I asked for total. I asked for rushing and receiving. Rushing and receiving's total is not going to add up to the total because he had 2 on special teams. So people need to get a little closer. Let's go over to Mr. AC, Aaron Current, score prediction, bold prediction. What do you got, dude?
Man, I'm step for step with Austin and Badge over there. This is going to be a big offensive game. My bold prediction, man, Austin already said it too. My man, I'm wearing his jersey today. Eddie Jackson gets his first interception of the season. Now we all know that he had one earlier that got called back, but he gets his first interception of the season. I know it might not sound too bold, Eddie Jackson gets an interception, but Aaron Rodgers just doesn't throw interceptions, so that's why it's bold to me. I think this is a huge offensive performance. I was right with them with 33-30, 34-31, but I'm going to go even higher. I'm going to say the Bears win 38-35, and Cairo Santos hits a last-second field goal to beat the Pack.
Ooh, that's steps.
Is it wrong that I don't want that? I mean, Cairo's been lights out.
I've got confidence in Cairo.
Bears to have
Cairo Santos is better than Robbie Gould.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, as right now, you're not wrong. I think we have a winner, gents. I think we have a winner in the chat here. And magically, it's QB1. QB1 with his knowledge and knowing it. Hey, Mitch, go ahead and follow us on Twitter or shoot us a DM at the Barfly Tailgate. We'll find out who you really are and send you this ball. But we're not surprised.
Would it be if it was really Mr. Trubisky?
We're not surprised.
Hey, Mitch loves him some Allen Robinson. We all know that.
I mean, I'm not surprised Mitch is in the chat. I mean, that's just the way it goes. All right, so you guys are. I think all of us, right? Nobody's wishing them demons. All of us are kind of going step for step with this right now. But let's go over to Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings. KB, give me your bold prediction, score prediction, bro.
Man, y'all stole the win from me when you said the 4 touchdowns thing. I was gonna say Trubisky outplays Aaron Rodgers to get us in the playoff. Damn. Yeah. I'm still going with my bold prediction, man. Forget it. Trubisky looks like the better quarterback on the field today. He outplays Aaron Rodgers. And you know what, Badge, I'm going to piggyback off you, man. He throws 4 touchdowns, dog. I played this game in Madden just the other day. I had 3 touchdowns, and I didn't even play in the 4th quarter. So I'm going to go with 4 touchdowns by my guy Trubisky, too. Oh. But I'm going to have 2 passing and 2 rushing. That's what mine's going to be. I'm not going to say they're all through the air. I'm going to change that. Revisionist history, do what I want to do. 2 throwing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. Trubisky has a flawless game, and Trubisky looks like the better quarterback on the field today.
I mean, speaking of bold predictions and score predictions, last week I said Trubisky was going to have 4 touchdowns and we were going to win 41-17. I was spot on with the score prediction, and my touchdown prediction was 1 off. So, I mean,
who was 23? Who was 23? Get him out of here. I don't need the negative energy today, homie. I can care less of what you think. Get the fuck out of here. My boy AC was right. I seen the score prediction.
Yeah, he was right. I mean, maybe we are delusional, but whatever, man. Give me your
allow us to live in our delusional world.
2-3. Right. Give me your bold prediction, score prediction in the chat, and let's see.
Bold prediction is we catch my man slipping with the You might want to hear that shit today, man. Get out of here with that, bro. We could be in the playoffs, and you want to sit here and be a downer, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
My score prediction, man. I'm just for good luck. 34-28. I don't know how you make those points work, but I need Walter Payton's number out there today. Everybody, man.
Gotcha. All right, let's get it over to Mr. Schaefer, Mr. Southlot, Mr. Mike Schaefer, Mr. fucking Tunnel of Funnel today. What you got for us, man? What's your bold prediction, score prediction?
I'm going extra bold and spicy today, boys. This is finally the week that Robert Quinn doesn't let me down. I've thrown his name out there multiple times because it doesn't get any bolder. Robert Quinn's going to show up on the stat sheet in a big way today with 2 sacks, making an impact, getting Aaron Rodgers' jersey all dirty. But a bolder prediction. I think we all remember the last time a jersey number was commemorated against Green Bay. There was number 34 that the Bears were wearing, someone by the name of Walter Payton, and there was a fingertip that blocked a kick at the end of a game at Lambeau Field. And with Gale Sayers, number 40, going to be on the field today, I feel like Gale Sayers is going to play a role here. There will be a blocked kick to win the game. I'm with you boys in the 30s. In fact, Badge took my score, 34-31. I'm going to stick with that score, 34-31, and the Bears are going to win. The Packers are going to have an opportunity to tie the game late with that kick, and there's going to be a hand sent from the heavens. Might be Gale Sayers' hand. I don't know. And the Bears are going to win the game. So blocked kick to win. Robert Quinn with 2 sacks, and the Bears are victorious, 34-31. And we're going to the playoffs, boys.
To the playoffs. All right, here we go. We got a couple people in there. Who the hell is Robert Quinn? That was asked. There's a few questions. There's a few questions up in there, and I don't know, man. I think if Quinn does do this today, he's going to be compared more and more to Leonard Floyd, and that he only plays versus the Packers and whatever. But either way, we'd be on our way to the playoffs, and I'll take it also. My score prediction is going to be 31-27 Bears. I think although 27 points is still a lot of points, I think we're going to see this Packers offense struggle a little bit. I think this Bakhtiari thing, him being out, I think they're going to struggle a bit, and I think we're going to see a frustrated Rodgers back there. Bold prediction, I'm going to say I'm going to go with Mitch a little bit, right? But I'm going to say that the Bears have over 200 rushing yards, and Mitch carries 50 of them. 50 plus rushing yards for Mitch. And whether it's on one scramble play, I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying that 50 plus rushing yards for Mitch. And on the other side of the ball, bold prediction, I'm going to say Duke Shelley gets a pick. The Duke comes in and he gets a pick. And, whether or not he brings it back, I don't know. Who fucking cares? I'm just saying that he gets a pick. So that's what I'm going with, man. I think that we see a team that is fighting for their chance to stay alive, and we see a team who is on the opposite side of the ball. We see a team who is doesn't have as much invested. I know the Packers are playing for a first, for the bye, and that I just think that you're going to see the wind taken out of their sails a little bit today, and that this Bears team is going to look really, really good today. There's a lot of scenarios that can get the Bears in today. I don't know if we want to go down the list of that real quick. You know what? Oh, there it is. Perfect. So these are the scenarios that get the Bears into the playoffs today. Obviously, with a win, right? We're in. With a win, we're going. Now, you got Cardinals, they could win. The Rams could win. Niners could win. Seahawks could win. For all of you that are in the chat and out there, we will share this on our Twitter page. But there's a lot of scenarios. We can lose and still get in. There's a lot of scenarios that get us in. There's even less scenarios that put us out. So looking at this game today, man, I think we're in the playoffs. And I know we're saying that it's all on the Bears and it's all, they need to do it. They really don't, but there's a lot of scenarios that get us in. And there's a few obviously that put us out to the curb and changed this up. Cheat to win, Eddie Guerrero. Robbie here.
Yeah. Robbie.
Yeah, Robbie's comments are fucking great, man. And who was it? Robbie that had the Al Qaeda comment?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. That's dude. I was like crying from that comment on the New Year's show. He said whoever it was said that
If the Packers were playing Al Qaeda, I'd be struggling with who to cheer for.
Yeah, something along those lines.
I just gotta say, I hope we get in and play the Saints because I really don't want to face the Packers 3 times. I mean, we may have to eventually play them again in an NFC Championship game, but I'm going to delay that as long as possible because to beat somebody once is hard enough, but to try and beat them 2 out of 3 times, especially a team like the Packers are, that'd be extremely difficult. Plus, you could play the Saints without a running back, so there's that.
Yeah, I agree, man. I would
get over the negative Bears fans. Like, what the fuck are you watching the show for, or watching the Bears for? If you're counting them out, like, get the fuck out, get out. It's fucking maddening to me, you fucking phony fans.
Okay, bye. Fuck.
There goes AC. All right, boys. Once around the room for shout outs, and then we'll get out of here. Anything you got, Mike? We'll start off with Mike. Mike, we know you got to get going. You got a little trip to make here, but what you got, brother?
Yeah, our guest today, Terence and Austin. Thanks for hopping on with us. Everybody in the chat that's been so active, specifically the people that have stayed positive and like our takes. But yeah, all Bears fans that are out there, what a season we've been through together, the ups and the downs. Let's get a W today.
Absolutely, man. I love that. Like, specifically the guys who are positive and like our takes. So Mike's like, if you didn't like the takes, fuck off. That was perfect. Mr. Ryan Kirkland Billings, shout outs, man. What you got?
Shout out to the positive fans. And to be honest, man, I don't care what y'all feel. Fuck the fans that are positive. That's how I feel today.
All right, very well.
You got that twisted tea hitting over there, man.
Right? Yeah, getting him already. Yeah, I really don't mind though. Like I just don't like the ones that are super like negative and the ones that are whatever, right? But the dudes who are saying, "Hey, let's do this, let's do that."
The guy like Hi Johnson that Dr. Phil made this show. I don't even know Dr. Phil.
That's the one.
Isn't he like a mental doctor?
Yeah, he's a big fat.
He had anything to do with podcasting.
He's a fat bald white guy who tells kids that they're fucked up and whatever. All right, over to Mr. Aaron.
Made the show, huh? You should go to that other network then.
Dr. Phil is
That's
never
where he is.
Mr. Aaron Current, what you got, man?
Shout out to y'all, man. Let me come on here every week and do my weekly therapy session and talk about some Bears football. Shout out to Terrence and shout out to Austin for hopping on with us today. 2 awesome guests. Shout out to everybody in the chat, whether you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, or are we on Twitch? I don't even know anymore. But shout out to everybody sticking through this tough year. Not only with what's going on the field with a 6-game losing streak, but off the field with COVID. I hope everybody's made it through this year with great health and for them and their families. Let's get this dub today, man. Bear down.
Damn straight, man. I think, dude, shout outs. I don't know. Let's just get this thing going today, man. Shout out to everybody who joined us today. Terrence and Austin, appreciate you guys, man. And then everybody in the chat. And I don't care. Bring your hate, bring whatever, man. I really don't care. Like, if you're going to bring something, just at least have an opinion. Don't get your ass, like, you get roped into shit and you think this guy's bad or that guy's bad because somebody told you, and watch it for yourself. Go take a fucking look at it. And go from there, man. Obviously, we're doing a Bears show. Of course, I'm going to believe in the fucking Bears. There were some tough seasons in the John Fox era. when we were doing this. You know what I mean? And I still wanted them to pull through and still wanted them to do it. I don't put any money on this show's prediction. Now, what the fuck ever. Of course, I want the Bears to win. If you don't want them to win, I don't know what you're doing. If you're a fan who thinks that, like, you know, hey, we can lose out and get the pick, go cheer for the Jaguars. Otherwise, man, let me check this private chat real quick and make sure I'm not missing anything before I wrap things up here. Nope, we good. Make sure that, you know, we got this 4 o'clock game, 3 o'clock game, depending on where you're living. This thing's gonna be, there's gonna be a lot of games to watch, man. There's gonna be a lot of scenarios, so make sure you're staying tuned. Bear football at halftime will get you through some of that. So we'll get to the halftime show, Bear football right back here, and then the post-game show. Hopefully this team is on their way to the playoffs. The post-game show is either going to be really great or really upsetting. And, you know, we'll go from there. But thank you.
Either way, tune in to see live reaction.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. And, you know, we'll go from there, man. But we need this today. I need everybody to, after this show is over, to go say a little Bear prayer and you know, get us to these playoffs. Boys, thanks for joining us. And I'll see you next week for playoffs. And we're going to leave this thing with a fat ass bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Green Bay sucks.